All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson going into another prophecy that we're waiting for and another thing that we're expecting to see happen, man, all right? And what the thing is the collapse of society, riots, civil war, right? Ultimately the day of the Lord, man, and people fighting in the streets. That's a prophecy that we're expecting to see. And now, but it's not going to be on a small scale, though. It's going to be on a wide scale. And the worst of it is going to be in America. And people might say, oh, nah, this can't happen, right? But I'm just going to play this video. I was looking up videos. I'm going to play a bit of this video here and just show what kind of things people are going to expect to see, man. And I've turned the music down so that we don't end up seeing the music, man. But these are some of the things that people are going to be seeing anyway, man. Right? And give me 1 second, in fact, Salakia, 1 second. I'm going to do something, Salakia. All right, I'm back now. And what I just did is I brought up the scriptures on the screen, and I'm going to play the video as well at the same time. And then also also read the scriptures as well as the same time as playing the video. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. In fact, verse 15. In fact, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So a day is coming where normally when riots happen, right, as you can even see in this footage, the police normally stand on the side, right? And then the police kind of just tell people like, yeah, you can riot, mate, but get over to the side on the curb and riot there. And it's normally a so-called peaceful protest. Even when you see people throwing things and stuff like that, as you can see now, it's still fairly controlled, man. And like the civilians are normally holding back on the violence that they would do if the person wasn't a authority figure in the society, like if the person wasn't a police officer, or if the person wasn't a fireman, or if the person wasn't a MP or someone like that, right? A lawyer, anyone that's got a high standing in this society when it comes to the law system, right? But the day that's coming, these people are not going to care what or who you are. And I remember read it, verse 16 again, for there shall be sedition among men, and sedition means pretty much going against your government, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So there's already been times, as we can see right now, where people are against their kings and their princes, right? But the days that's going to come, people are going to be much more against their kings and their princes than even this, man. Like the way them cops are there, and it's like might be 100 cops holding back 1,000 people, right? In the day that's coming, those 10 those people end up getting beat up, man. Though it will be like 10-1, and the 10 are gonna overcome the 1, because there's more normal everyday people than there is law enforcement, man. And the day that Yahweh's gonna set up his people that are not gonna even care about the law enforcement anymore, man. They're not gonna care, and the police are gonna be given the powers, right, to really go full demon on people, man. To go full out with all of the violence that they really want to do, man. Because these police officers really, a lot of them became police because they want to just have power over people and be violent, man. And that's why when you see that there might be certain whenever there's like a civilian that's lost the plot and they've got a gun or something like that, the normal everyday police run away and hide themselves, man. When really that should be the time where they turn into some Police Academy 5 or something like that. You know that crazy Edomite from Police Academy 5 with the big revolver? They should turn into him. But they don't. They cower away because a lot of them became a police officer really to have power over people over people because they've never had power before in the normal world, and they're seeking power. Verse 17, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able, so martial law is coming, and it's going to be enforced. It's going to be enforced by violence that the police are going to be performing on people, man. It's going to be performed in that way. Right, let me pause it now because I don't know if it's gonna you know, I'll carry on playing it because I've already played it anyway. So whatever happens, happens now. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So this is what we're expecting to see, man. People becoming real violent toward each other because there's a lack of food, right? When there was a lack of petrol, people became violent, right? When there's a lack of when there's a lack of toilet roll, people become violent. So how much more when there's a lack of food? You don't need petrol and you don't need toilet roll. Now somebody might say, of course you need toilet roll. Of course. No, you don't. You don't need toilet roll. Toilet roll is not a necessity to live, right? There's other methods that people can use to clean themselves after they've used the toilet, right? Toilet roll has not always been around. Food has always been around, right? Petrol has not always been around. Food has always been around. But it's going to become very violent every day in the world, man. It's going to become like there's going to be violence on a mass scale continually, right? There's been riots all over the world. There's been riots in the past. But there's going to come a time where there's riots and violence for a continuation of time. And it's never ended. It's never going to end until Yahweh Shai comes. It's just going to be continually going on. And part of the thing that's going to be made to try and give people comfort is that MOTB, that mark mentioned in Revelation, the 13th chapter, is going to be put on people. And they might be promised food, they might be promised safety, right? And people are going to take that because they want to go back to the times of pleasure that they once had. Which that's the reason why a lot of people got that thing that Esau was putting out, that injection, because they wanted to go back to the times that they had before, man. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? Because by the time Yahweh Shai comes to the earth, there's already going to be a lot of damage that's going on, man. There's going to already be harsh times. Yahweh Shai is going to enter into the world during a time where there's war going on. And it mentions that in Second Ezra, in fact. The 15th, no, the 13th chapter. It mentions that. 1 second. Don't want any more alerts to disturb the lesson. 1 second, Salakia. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. And immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall from the heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. So there's already going to be tribulation and rough times going on before Yahweh Shai gets here, right? And it's going to have been going on for a long period of time, even before the MOTB gets pushed on people, man. Like once Second Ezra really comes into play and it's really activated, it's not gonna let up. It's gonna be continual violence for a long period of time, man. And the world has never seen that. The world has never seen worldwide violence where people are scared of each other and people are killing each other over food for a long duration of time. The world never seen it on a mass scale all around the world because there's nothing for anybody anywhere. The world's never seen that before. And there was a particular scripture that I wanted to get. Another one backing up how Yahweh Shai is going to come to the earth in a time where there's already war going on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and find it in my actual Bible. And then I'll remember where it was and quote it in the lesson. Here we go. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 29. Let me just highlight this out. For next time it's easy to find. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. So People are going to already be in chaos, right? And they ain't going to know what the hell's going on, man. And it's going to be an astonishment to the earth. Verse 31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. So Yahweh Shai is already going to come back to the earth during a time of chaos. Verse 32, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man descending. So Yahweh Shai is going to enter in to all of this chaos, right? And it might sound a bit funny, man, but there's a worldly description that I can use to try and make you understand what it's going to be like, man. And for those brothers out there and sisters that might have watched wrestling, right? There's an event in wrestling called the Royal Rumble, right? And there'll normally be certain wrestlers that when they hear their theme music play, right, that all the other wrestlers stop what they're doing and team together to try and get rid of this more bigger threat of a wrestler, man. Not one of the wrestlers that used to make that happen would be somebody like the Big Show or Kane or the Undertaker or Brock Lesnar, one of them type of guys, right? And that's what it's going to be on a way bigger scale when Yahweh Shai comes, because everyone's going to stop doing what they was doing to try and fight against Yahweh Shai. Verse 32 again, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. So they're going to all leave the battle that they had against another to try and fight against Yahweh Shai. Verse 34, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and overcome him by fighting. So they're going to all try and think that they can fight against Yahweh Shai, but they're going to lose. They're going to lose though. But there's going to be a whole bunch of chaos going on in the world, and it's not going to stop when Yahweh Shai shows up initially, right? Yahweh Shai is going to destroy these people in order to make it be established that he's the top, right? Because you know what Esau is? Esau likes violence. Esau likes to fight, man. So he's going to be offended at Yahweh Shai's entrance, and I've already been pulling out his best warfare at that time. So he's going to want to really test to see if his warfare can overcome Yahweh Shai, because I've been a winner there's going to be a nation that was winning during the time of the war, right? There's going to have been a nation that was winning at that time, and they're going to think that they can carry on winning, but like they're all going to lose, man, because Yahweh Shai is also coming to gather the elect, and he's going to be destroying the Edomites and the other nations at the same time as he's saving the Israelites, man. It's going to be a lot of things are going to be happening in a quick pace during that time, man. A lot of stuff is going to be happening in that time. America's going to have been getting destroyed. Yahweh Shai is going to come to gather the elect so that those that are in America of the elect don't get destroyed, along with the rest of the world, the rest of the wicked over there. Like, it's going to be a lot of things going on, man. And the angels and Yahweh Shai are also going to be destroying as they come together. It's going to be like a movie to see that, man. Those brothers in America, the things that they're going to see in that time, man, it's going to be a beautiful story to tell in the kingdom, man. Just like how brothers everywhere else in the world is going to have a beautiful story to tell also. This is Amos chapter 5 and verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. So it's not going to be a good time that we're expecting to see. We're expecting to see a whole mess of fighting, and we're expecting to see civil wars. We're expecting to see chaos in the streets. We're not just thinking that we're going to sail through life without seeing nothing, because we haven't not seen nothing right now already. We've already seen evils in this world. Verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. So it's comparing escaping from one moment of danger and then falling into another moment of danger. From one life-threatening situation to another life-threatening situation, man. From one near-death experience to another near-death experience. Verse 20, shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So we're expecting to see a whole bunch of chaos, man. Right? We're expecting to see riots on a mass scale, man. Violence in the streets. right? That's one of the prophecies that we're waiting to see. That's one of the things that people should be expecting to see as a sign that Yahweh Shai is getting closer and closer to returning to the earth. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.